OK, can I ask you about politics at home? And what's the Conservative response to Sir Keir Starmer's plan to recognise a Palestinian state in September?
Well, look, first of all, let's just look at the long-standing context behind this. My comments have already been published, and I have to say I think Keir Starmer is really just conceding to pressure from his backbenchers. By the way, that's not for the first time. He's had to do that on many other issues. I've been in Parliament many, many times. Christopher Hope will know this too. I've been pressing the government on literally 22 occasions in the House of Commons where we've just seen the government just appease its backbenchers, saying that they will recognise Palestine, but do so without a plan. And that is why this is a very serious issue. I think it's a major problem for the British government and also for Britain's standing in the world. We've seen this terrible situation of humanitarian crisis in Gaza for months upon months now, and Britain simply hasn't been leveraging its influence. It hasn't been at the negotiating table. It's not really done anything in terms of making sure that we're stepping up to release the hostages, ensure that Hamas has no future role to play. All the British government has done is effectively issue condemnations to Israel, which I think has emboldened Hamas, and that has not helped anybody. It's certainly not helped the people in Gaza. It's not helped aid get into Gaza. So I think this is a serious time, and I think the government's got some serious questions to ask about where has it been over recent months? Why has it not been proactive, working alongside the United States and the Qataris and other major allies in the region to secure a ceasefire? Instead, it's just been at the sidelines, a bit like France, just basically issuing pronouncements and statements and condemnations, which really has not helped.
But Dame Priti, hasn't the talk of the politics of this moving away? It's now a near famine crisis situation there. It seems to me that France and the UK are responding to that, supporting the Gazas of trying to create this Palestinian state to ensure maybe that more aid can get in there. UKA starts this week. Isn't it basically moving on from where this war started into now a serious humanitarian crisis?
No, actually, it's too little too late. We've been calling upon the government. I have called upon the government, like I said, on 22 occasions in the House of Commons, to be much more transparent about what it has done to directly press the Israeli government to open up new land routes, to have proper discussions about getting aid in. And there's just been silence. We've not had any responses whatsoever. The British government are basically hiding behind the United Nations when it comes to aid delivery. And we know the United Nations has a checkered history in Gaza. We know the UN was also, some of its workers were complicit in the atrocities on October the 7th. So we can't put all the eggs in the UN basket, and it should never have been allowed to get to this terrible situation where there is a catastrophic famine, a terrible humanitarian crisis. It was the last Conservative government, when David Cameron was Foreign Secretary, that secured new land routes to get aid into Gaza. I have pressed the government again and again and again to do more on this, and they have not. And now it is wrong to basically say that through recognising Palestine that they're able to get more aid in. The two should not be linked. There should be a proper plan for state recognition of Palestine. There should be a proper proposal in terms of governance. There is no proposal for governance whatsoever, or getting rid of Hamas, or reform Palestinian Authority. We have to remember that in 2005 Israel left Gaza and basically the Palestinian Authority came in, and it was because the Palestinian Authority failed in governance, Hamas came in, and we know exactly what has followed since. So I'm afraid this is a serious situation, and not enough work has been done by the British government.